Hello everyone, this is Hakusho here. And yesterday, I actually saw how some people, Darth Banana Man, someone who always actually gets first comment, was surprised to hear I actually made Bakugo quirkless. Now, the reason for this is actually going to be very simple. I will explain it further on, but I'm still trying to leave things and trying to figure out a way to leave them ambiguous enough and try not to go into the actual Yu Yu Hakusho story, but I'm still trying to delve into it some, just so that people get like a taste for how it is. That way, if they are interested, I have actually there's actually all the episodes of it are on YouTube, so you can actually just look it up. They're all in a playlist. It's over 100 episodes long, but I can assure you it's actually a very good watch. Now then, how am I recording these, or how am I posting these so early or late in the day? These are pre-recordings. I'm still awake at 1 o'clock in the morning. I posted the last video not too long ago, and I cannot sleep. Now then, it seems like someone actually. Before I delve into the what if, I did say that if anyone can guess the soda I was drinking in the last part, I can actually do a what if they suggest. If they guess correctly. Now, it seems like no one actually did start guessing, because I kind of expected someone to like at least try throwing out a Dr. Pepper, a Pepsi. I expected someone to throw out something like anything really. No one did. Now then, whenever we last left off, hmm, whenever we last left off already. Now then, whenever we did leave off, Deku had actually met Junior, and Deku would ask, "What's what is this? Some sort of joke?" That cannot be the guy in charge, right? That cannot be King Yama. Botan would smack Deku with the head and tell him to show some respect, and Deku would then just say, "This really isn't funny anymore. You need to be serious." Then then Junior would say that he's actually not King Yama, he's Kuenma, King Yama's son, and that he actually is not a toddler. Because Deku would have said like, "This is very funny, but like seriously, what's up with the toddler? Like, this cannot be the guy in charge." Kuenma would then kind of just explain to Deku after saying that he's not a toddler that anyway, I'll overlook your insubordination or ignorance and actually give you a test. Now, Deku would ask, what does he mean by a test? Kuenma would then say that this is actually going to be a test to see if you deserve to go back to the human world. Deku would then peek up and say that if you're gonna why give me a test? Why can't you just send me back? Koenma would then explain to Deku that it's not that easy. That the last time someone tried to force their way back into the human world, it kinda did not have a very good result. That the two worlds are not meant to collide, and trying to force your way through one could actually hurt both worlds and could destroy the barrier. Deku would ask what he means by barrier. Guillermo would say that a long time ago, before the barrier is essentially a net that catches every demon that can be considered or classified a Class A, a Class S, or a Class Z demon. But Class Zs haven't existed in over Class Zs haven't existed in over a millennia. So you should be fine. Well, the human world would be actually very safe. Now, he would then explain how the net, well, the barrier, but I'm just going to call it a net, is actually catching these high-ranking demons. It would keep a S-class demon in an A-class, but a D-class demon and an F-class demon, very small tiers of demon, could actually come through. It's because this net is created to keep the giant monsters out, so any smaller class can actually walk through. Now, Deku would actually be kind of confused, saying, why did they just make the net big? Well, make the net bigger or add another layer. They would state that erecting the net or just putting the net up already was something they thought would be impossible. But trying to do it again could actually hurt both worlds even more. But that one layer of protection they have does actually at least prevent both worlds from colliding. Now, after this brief explanation, that was a bit hefty. Yes, I used hefty as a word. Anyways, yeah, it's 1 a.m. I'm tired. I've taken NyQuil. I cannot sleep. And I need water. Now then, afterwards, Deku would then be handed a golden egg. Deku would ask if this is some sort of joke and what is he supposed to do with this thing. Kuro would state that this is part of his test. That if Deku, well, that the egg Deku is currently holding, each day it will feed off of the emotions of his soul. And what that basically means is if Deku is feeling happy when the egg is feeding, the egg would actually absorb it would actually feed off the happiness. It would consume it, but he would feed on it, but it wouldn't affect Deku. But if he was feeling any negative emotions or they're poisonous, any heinous or villainous emotions, the monster inside can actually hatch and will eat his soul and destroy him for all eternity. But if his emotions are good and pure, because of how his background is, with literally kicking anyone's ass who tries to approach him for a conversation. Anyways, he will then state that if his emotions are pure, that the creature that hatches will actually help lead him back to his body. Now, after stating this, Deku would then be told by Botan that we need to get you back to the human world now. Because we need to make sure that your body is fine. We don't know what's going on with your body. We don't know if you've been buried yet. Deku would then actually try running out of the palace very frantically, because he kind of forgot about that. Yes, he forgot that he was dead. Because kind of being told that, hey, spirits exist, you're dead. This is the king of everything's son. You're getting a golden goose egg that if the monster is good and nice, you get your body back. Yeah, that doesn't sound a bit crazy at all. It sounds perfectly reasonable. Anyways, after that, Deku would then be jumped back. Well, not jumped. He would be back in the human world with Botan. She would then explain to Deku that he needs to get into contact with somebody he knows and tell them to take care of his body. Deku would actually try getting in contact with Mina because she's one of the few people that Deku knows who actually would listen. Because she's a very outgoing person, so she wouldn't. Keiko, she's the. Okay, I might spoil it if I say something. But Keiko, she's essentially the. Well, I would say love interest, but yeah, I guess you can call it that. Of the protagonist. So, yes, I'm doing a Deku X Mina ship. I've done Jiro, I've done Momo. Well, I've not done Momo. Wait, I've done three what if. I'm sure I've done three what ifs. Okay, yeah, no. I think Kazumaki is going to be shipping Momo and Deku in the collab. Pretty sure. Don't hold me to that. Let's see. Jiro and Toga. So now it's Mina. Okay. This is actually my third ship. Never mind. But the collab one will count as soon as that is uploaded and all said and done. Oh crap, I need to actually get some decent information out. Anyways, after that, Deku would then visit Mina in her dream. And whenever he's doing this, he's actually standing right by her bedside as a ghost, and he's actually just talking to her. Because people are actually more perceptive to the supernatural and paranormal whenever they are asleep. And he would then talk to her and explain to her that whatever happens, she just needs to make sure that Deku. Well, he would tell her that, hey, it's me, Midoriya. Yeah, this is gonna be kind of weird and hard to explain, but I need you to make sure nothing bad happens to me. I need you to make sure my mom doesn't bury me or get me cremated. But that's also because I have to go through a trial, and if I get through it and I pass, I'll be able to come back. Now Mina is actually crying while she's asleep, and she's trying to ask Deku what he means by this. But he would then tell her that it's okay that she's crying, but she won't need to do that because he's coming back. He'd then try wiping a tear off her face, and she would jolt awake crying. Now, she'd be very questionative as to what happened, but she would say that she's sure he was here. She's sure she felt something. Because she actually is basically bawling her eyes out. Now, after this, okay, I can do that. After this, Bakugo, well, not Bakugo, but Deku would then try visiting his mom, but she's absolutely plastered, basically screaming at Deku's coffin. Actually, no, I didn't. I never did do the wake scene. Okay, cut back to probably 3 days ago. Actually, no, the day before, Deku he had his whole wake, and a lot of people from school have actually come to just see if he's actually dead. A lot of people are insulting him, but the principal and Bakugo are actually like trying to knock some sense into people. Bakugo is actually basically almost dragged out by one of the teachers, but he would just kind of like he would just shake them off, saying that they never even cared about Midoriya, so why the hell are they trying to now? He always had that mentality of being a hero, but you just saw him as that delinquent. You have no right even being here, yet you're trying to make me leave. I'm I've known Midoriya ever since we ever since kindergarten. Yet I'm being disrespectful. Look around. Everyone here is insulting a dead man. Yet you're calling me an asshole. And after that, people actually were commenting on how they're kind of glad Deku's gone because he essentially was very. He intimidated a lot of people because the punches he can throw and with how much he's fought a lot of people. Yeah, people actually thought he did have a quirk, but when they found out he didn't, that's what kind of scared them. Anyways, now after this, Bakugo would actually get a shiver up his spine and he'd start looking around. And this is whenever he'd actually turn to his left. And I want you guys to picture this, but Deku is standing right there next to Bakugo with his hand on his shoulder. Bakugo would look over, and Deku would actually be surprised by this, because he thought only Botan could see him. And then Botan would explain that as long as, well, if a person is attuned to the supernatural enough, they can feel you, and in certain cases, if it's if they're able to feel you, they might even be able to sense you, or hear you, even see you possibly. Now, Deku would actually try saying something to Bakugo, but this is whenever he kind of walk away, still shivering. Well, you know what I mean, right? Shaking, kind of. And he would just say that it, he feels bad for Midoriya because he may have passed on, but there's still ghosts trying to even even the damn spirits are trying to be disrespectful. Now then, back to whenever Mina actually was trying to go in. Actually, no. Let's say the kid Bakugo and Deku were trying to save, would actually show up, and people are surprised because they thought this kid was just made up to try and make Deku's death sound better. And some people would actually start feeling bad, but you would just see Mina actually crying because she's happy that people. Well, eventually, people would have actually almost convinced her that the kid was made up, but she would have just kept trying to tell herself that that's not true. Deku died a hero. And the kid would actually try saying a few words, and he would actually call Deku his hero. Now, Deku would actually kind of tear up a bit at this, but this is whenever the egg would start feeding. So it's actually feeding on his sadness. And Botan would then comment on how, yes, it's feeding on sadness, but it's just more than that. Sometimes the emotions it feeds on, it can be you're sad that something happened, but you're happy because of it. Like a tearful reunion. Now, after this, actually, can I? Ah, crap, I'm gonna have to. I would get into that, but that would extend this video by probably 10 minutes. Okay, let's see. What can I say? That's perfect. Anyways, Botan would then try explaining to Deku that this he's gonna have to be feeding the egg for an entire week, and that whenever he does go back to his body, it's gonna be a very weird process because it's gonna be also very complicated. It involves realigning his spirit with the living. Now, I will get into that in the next part, Actually, no, I can just explain that right now. Basically, imagine a CV radio. Now, imagine you're tuning the radio to a radio station, but you keep passing it. So you keep tuning it back and forth. So that wave will be going up and down over and over again until you finally tune into the right station and actually are able to hear everything clearly. That's essentially how you would reline his deku. Well, that's essentially how you would reline things to where they would be in tune. Because Deku has to be in tune with his body. Okay, I am going to be cutting this off now, and I hope you guys did enjoy. I'm actually trying to watch the anime a bit to refresh some of my knowledge, but I am actually creating a different script in my head to what I can do that is different from the anime and the actual anime this is based off of. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and this is going to be Kirsho signing off.